Okay, class, we go to our next example, which is number 3. Now, the first thing we look for here is our parentheses. We had 3/10 in our parentheses. Let's change that to a decimal. So we'll have a negative 0.7 squared plus 7 times 0.3. Now, we can't do anything else in this parenthesis, so we do our exponents. Negative 0.7 squared is the same as saying a negative 0.7 times 0.7. Now, we can multiply these 0.7s, which is the same thing as saying 7 times 7, which is 49. And we count how many digits we have behind the decimal. We have 1, 2. So our final answer here would be a negative 0.49. And then we bring down our plus 7 times 0.3. Now, we need to multiply this 7 times 0.3, which is the same as saying 7 times 3, which is 21. And we have 1 digit behind the decimal, so we must have 1 digit behind the decimal in our final answer. So now we have negative 0.49 plus 2.1. Now we know we're going to subtract here, so let's set this up in the subtraction form. We will have 2.1 minus 0.49. We will add a 0 here. Now we know we cannot subtract 9 from 0, so we'll borrow 1 from this 1, which will make this 0, and this 0 will become 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. We cannot subtract 4 from 0, so we'll borrow 1 from this 2, and this 0 will become 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. We bring down our decimal, and we bring down our 1. 1 minus 0 is 1. And since 2.1 is larger than a negative 0.449, our final answer is positive. So it's 1.61. Now, we come to number 4. Now we have subtraction, multiplication, a parenthesis, an exponent, division, and 0.02. So we're going to do the divided by 0.02 last. So we need to do this numerator. So the first thing we would do on this numerator, we look at the parenthesis. We cannot do anything with that. Then we look here at this exponent. So we'll take 1.2 squared, which is the same as 1.2 times 1.2, which when we multiply, we'll do 12 times 12. 12 times 12, we have 4, we have our 2, we have 0, 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 1 is 1. So this will give us 144. Now remember, this 1.2 in parentheses squared is the same as 1.2 times 1.2. Now we look here, we have 2 digits behind the decimal in our original multiplication problem, so our answer should have 2 digits behind it. So now our numerator is 20.06 minus 10 times 1.44 all over 0.02. Now we could take 10 times 1.44. We know that this is an exponent of 10. So that means that since we have 1 0, we'll move this decimal 1 place to the right. So now we will have 20.06 minus 14.4 all over 0.02. So now we will subtract 20.06 minus 14.4. We'll put a 0 here. 6 minus 0 is 6. We cannot subtract 4 from 0, so we have to go until we get a number that's not 0. So we'll go to this 2 and borrow 1. Now we know this 0 actually becomes a 10, but we will have to borrow 1 from it, so this will be 9, and this 0 will be the 10. So 10 minus 4 is 6. We bring down our decimal. 9 minus 4 is 5, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So we will have 5.66 divided by 0.02. Now we have to divide. Now, we will go off to the side here. We have 0.02 into 5.66. Now we know we have to move this decimal 2 places to the right, and also this decimal 2 places to the right to make this 2 an integer. So this would be 2 into 566. Now we know since 2 is even and 566 is even, that 2 goes evenly into it. So we don't need the decimals here. 2 goes into 5 twice. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 goes into 16 8 times. So we have 8 times 2 is 16. 16 minus 16 is 0, so we bring down our 6 here. Well, we could write the 0 too. This is 0, 6, which is still 6. And then we say 2 goes into 6 3 times. And we have no remainder. So our final answer here is 283. Now, we scroll down here to number 5. Now we're dealing with the formula for area of a triangle. Now, that formula is A equals half of the base times the height. Find the area of the triangle. So what we have to do is substitute here. So we have our area is equal to 1/2. Now the base is this here, which is the 7 meters. So it's times 7 meters. And then the height is 2.1. Now before we change these to fractions or decimals, let's go ahead and multiply this. So we'll put all of these values, the 7 meters and the 2.1 meters, we'll put it over 1. So we have 1 times 7, which is 7, and 7 times 2.1. So we'll go off to the side and say 21 times 7. That'll be 147, and we had 1 digit behind the decimal here, so it'll be 14.7 square meters all over 2 times 1 is 2 times 2 is 2. Now, what we could do now is take 2 into the 14.7. We could do that off to the side. 2 into 14.7, we'll add a 0 here. 2 goes into 14 7 times. 14 minus 14 is 0, so we know we'll bring down our 7 and bring up our decimal here. 2 goes into 7 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. Bring down your 0. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10, and we have no remainder. So our area is 7.35 square meters. And like I told you all before, whenever you're dealing with area, your units of measure is always squared. Now we scroll down here. We have problem number 6. This is the last problem of this section. Now, we have 1.7 times the parenthesis y minus 2 squared. Now, y is 2.3. So we're going to go through and substitute. We have 1.7 parentheses 2.3 minus 2 and squared. As we always put in the value we're substituting into parentheses. We can't do anything inside this 2.3 parenthesis, so we'll bring that out. So it'll be 2.3 minus 2 parentheses squared. Now 2.3 minus 2 is 0.3. Now we have 0.3 squared. We could go off to the side here and drop the decimal. Well, we know that this will be 0.3 times 0.3. We'll drop the decimal and it'll be 3 times 3, which is 9. Now, we have 2 digits behind the decimal here, so this will be 0.09. So this will be 1.7 times 0.09. And then we will multiply this here. We'll drop those decimals. We have 17 times 9. 9 times 7 is 63. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 6 is 15. So that'll be 153. And we have a total of 3 digits behind the decimal. So we'll put that decimal here. And our final answer would be 0.153. And we're done.